All right, so I'm sitting here with two-time Alberta national champ, Sonny Brar, one of the most decorated ball hockey players in all of Edmonton. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. How are you, Navin?
I appreciate it, man. It's really cool. So this is my first time, just so you know, first time ever being at a ball hockey tournament event, anything of the sort.
Yeah.
The atmosphere is really cool. I love seeing the guys compete.
Definitely.
How many tournaments have you competed in your life?
So in tournaments like these come few and far between. These are 3-on-3 tournaments. It's a lot different from the regular 5-on-5 that we play. These 3-on-3 tournaments are usually held kind of in like a smaller floor scenario, and you see this like towel floor and stuff. It's a lot more stop and go. Whereas the 5-on-5s is essentially like pretty much like ice hockey, except you're running on like smooth concrete. So definitely quite cardio demanding, right? 3-on-3 is a lot more stop and go. And you definitely feel it as the day goes on, that's for sure.
I know your knees got to be hurting, man. I don't know if you guys noticed, but he has blood right there on his shirt. So, you know,
just a little battle wound.
He's competing really hard. Look, it's a pleasure to meet you and finally get to talk in person.
Definitely.
Give me some insight just on your professional journey and just your journey in ball hockey so far.
Yeah, definitely. Ball hockey, how did I get into ball hockey? Truthfully, from a young age, we always wanted to play ice hockey, my brother and I, but you know, it's quite financially demanding, and being the children of first generation parents, it's not the most feasible. So we were always just playing in the streets, you know, Jaromir Jagr on the streets or Wayne Gretzky on the streets, and just making up these vivid dreams on the driveway. And that kind of, I guess I got into ball hockey when I was 16. That's when I actually learned that there were actually like ball hockey leagues and stuff.
Okay, yeah.
I could have been playing ball hockey a long time before that, but I got into it when I was 16. I got recruited to like a men's team, and honestly, it's a great way it's quite physically demanding, so it's a great way to, you know, really be motivated and staying in shape. Keeps you away from the bad things. It definitely kept me away from the bad things.
We all need those sports, right?
Yeah, exactly. And the fact that I learned that this sport has representation at you know, city, provincial, national, and world championship levels, which I've had the pleasure to be a part of, and you know, see the world and travel. It's so amazing to have an outlet like that lets you see that.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
I think it's incredible. So obviously, I grew up playing some ball hockey, not your level, just street hockey. That's where it stopped for me.
That's where it all starts, baby.
Here's my infamous story. I'll just tell you real quick.
Yeah, tell me.
I used to be in my opinion, I was a really good goaltender. Okay.
Yeah.
I was good in that. Had all the pads. My dad got me the full setup. We played every single day. The orange ball.
Oh yeah.
One day took a slap shot to the nuts. I never played street hockey again. And I never played goalie again, bro. That was it for me.
I guess when you're playing, thankfully, like now we wear the jock and the cup and stuff. Yeah. But when you're playing in the streets, you're not thinking about throwing on a cup.
No, man.
So yeah, that can definitely happen.
No, that's incredible.
That just induced some PTSD.
And PTSD.
For you, right?
Now I'm sitting watching these goalies, and I don't want to ever see this orange ball again.
PTSD kicking in hard for sure.
No, that's awesome, man. So we talked about two-time Alberta national champ. You also talked about so many things you've done in the city, so many tournaments, trophies you've collected. Can we start from maybe the city level, what you've accomplished, and then go to national champions and maybe Team India also?
Yeah, surely. We started our team's called Edmonton Savages. Honestly, I think maybe 12, 13 years ago, I can't even remember. And at first we were like bottom of the barrel, you know, with anything new. But then slowly you rise, and then now I think we've won like maybe truly like 8 or 9 Division I city championships, which is quite a feat.
A dynasty. You guys are a dynasty.
Yeah, and then even Alberta provincial championships, we've won like maybe 7, 8 times. And honestly, it's just you have your core of. It's awesome to have your core guys all stay together.
Chemistry's there.
And then it just kind of ripples from there. Yeah. So that's the city championship and provincial championship level. One team that we have been developing along those years is also the Edmonton Kings, of which many of these players are a part of, including myself. And we're looking to develop that team towards that progression of that, you know, city, provincial, national championship level as well. So it's pretty cool to be part of two things.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the Edmonton Kings is more of this culture-oriented. So a lot of people that I grew up with got into the sport, and it's awesome to see that progression.
Absolutely.
National championships, myself, my brother, and my buddy Kik, we were fortunate enough to be part of the first team that brought Alberta its first ever national championship.
Wow.
Which is quite a feat. That was in 2017.
You're the OG of hockey out here, man.
Yeah, that was an awesome, and for me, anyone who knows me knows that I'm a really proud Punjabi. right? And it was awesome to be able to carry that honor on behalf of my people.
Absolutely, yep.
And anyone who knows me will tell you that I try to be a good example for anyone in our community, whether that's, you know, how you carry yourself or doing community service, right? I think if you have the means to help others through the passions that you have in life, you use that to help others.
Absolutely. Good
right?
karma too.
Yeah, and then thankfully we were able to win one back-to-back, so 2017 and 2018. We've had a few silvers since.
Okay.
There's one team that has dominated out of Ontario for some time. They have some Indo-Canadian players on their team
Very
too.
cool, okay.
So yeah, pretty cool to see that progression on that front. So that's national championship. World Championships happens every 2 years. I've had the privilege of representing Team India on two fronts in Switzerland and Czech Republic. And those are great experiences. We're still quite developing on that level, but it's awesome to see that we're able to have that representation and truly put our faces on the map of this sport.
That's the biggest
you know?
thing, yeah.
Yeah, and even like a lot of us, or a lot of our people are really proud of some of the sports that we play, like kabaddi, cricket, things like that. And a lot of those are like, you know, quite cardiovascular demanding and physically demanding. And it's amazing to see that translate to this sport too. And that respect is given to our people in this sport too.
Oh, wow.
You know, at some of the worlds, people would be like, we don't want to play Team India. All they do
Really?
is run, you know? So it's pretty cool to see that carried
Yeah.
forward. Sorry, I'm sweating buckets.
That's good, man.
I just finished the game. Yeah. So yeah, those are some of that's some of the progression on those levels. And the thing that I do truly love is you see a lot more representation now of our people starting to get into the sport, and especially for young kids that are like 15, 16, 17, 18. Those are quite pivotal years where, you know, you can end up going the wrong path in life.
100%.
And that can impact children into their, you know, teen years and adult years forever. So yeah, the goal is just to try to be a positive impact to the community and try to, you know, I'm a proponent of lead by example.
Yep.
Try to, anything that you ask of others, you make sure that you're doing yourself.
Yeah. That's great, man. I think a couple of things you said. First, I'm a big believer in how much sport impacts you in a positive way.
Totally, yeah.
Like as a young kid, like the things leadership, teamwork, community. There's so many things, commitment.
Oh yeah.
You know,
for
those
sure.
values you learn from sports at a young age, like invaluable.
100%.
Right? So I love that you're saying like not only do you want to get the kids in, but you're trying to give back just by who you are as a man now, right?
Yeah.
And you can also show them like it's not just you're playing ball, you're fun, you can play, but like look at what you did. Because like I said, for me it's interesting because I just honestly didn't know there was worlds.
Yeah.
I didn't know you played for Team India and all this stuff was happening. So for me, that's the biggest stage. Is like, hey, it's fun, but you can also go really far with it, right?
Yeah, you can see the world and you can have a positive influence in some of these areas.
Yeah.
Here it's not as followed. In Europe, it's a professional sport, truly. And
right, so there's pro
they
leagues,
fill,
right?
Yeah, pro leagues.
Exactly,
they fill the stadiums. Like it's
Really?
insane. Yeah. And to your other point, I thought that was a really powerful point that you brought up. Sports, there's such a beauty in sports, you know. I consider myself a leader. A lot of my leadership skills in life come from leadership skills that I developed in sports.
100%.
You know?
Yeah.
And even learning how to win, to be a humble winner, a good winner. Also learning how to lose. There's a skill in learning how to lose.
It's the hardest thing to do once you accept and understand it, right?
Yeah, there's a skill in learning how to be a good loser.
Yeah.
You know, taking lessons learned and taking those lessons and continue to push forward with the things that you learn and just move on.
Exactly.
Right? And how to be a good teammate, right? And helping others. And yeah, sports is amazing for that.
It's so many things. It might be hard for you to answer this next question, but what would you say is maybe your crowning achievement in, I guess, almost 20 years of playing ball hockey? Like, what would be maybe your number one?
You saying like individual or team?
Let's go one each. One individual, one team.
One individual crowning achievement, and I don't even know if a lot of people know this. It's because I don't really talk about it. Is that 2017 team that I was a part of? Myself, my brother, and my buddy Kik, who has the same last name, we were the first Indo-Canadians to ever win a national championship in the sport. And for me, that was
that's huge.
Yeah, first individuals of Indian descent.
Dude, that is huge.
In history, yeah. And honestly, I carry that with pride because I'm very proud of my background and the culture that I come from.
As you should be,
Yeah. and I try to, you know, encapsulate that into everything that I do and be a good leader. So in terms of individual, there's that, right? In terms of team, I would love to say that, you know, our team, not just Edmonton Savages, but the Edmonton Kings, Edmonton Kings is made up of mostly Indo-Canadian players.
Yeah.
Just the progression of how far it has come and how far we want to go, right? There's also a tournament that happens biannually called Indo-Canada Cup, which is run by...
is that Dampy's?
Yeah.
I think I've heard him talk.
Yeah, I was just about to mention Dampy, which is run by Dampy Brar and his team mostly, and they do a phenomenal job at putting that together. Our team, Edmonton Kings, won the last one for that. So it's pretty cool to carry that title
like that, yeah.
of, you know, subjectively best team in Canada, right? And we look to carry that forward. That'll be next year as well. And it's really cool to see the progression of not just our players here locally, but even throughout the country. I mentioned that team, Brampton Midnight Express, who has won multiple national championships since we've won. They have a bunch of Indo-Canadian representation there as well, and they play at the world's level too, so we play together, right?
Oh wow! Okay,
yeah, and I'm talking at least like 5-6 guys. So and they're part of their core group.
That's huge, yeah.
Yeah. So it's amazing to see that progression, you know. And you've got there's legends that are out of BC who paved the way for a lot of us, like the Smitter Kalas, you know. He is like not just a legend of Indo-Canadian ball hockey, but ball hockey in general. Okay. He's regarded as one of like the ball hockey gods.
Really?
Yeah, and the beauty part about him is he is a full representation of us. He wears a turban, has a full beard and everything. And he's
that good.
He's
I gotta beat him. Yeah, we gotta beat him.
Yeah, he is awesome, man. So it is awesome to see, you know, we are all one, we are all equal, but it is very cool to see, you know, our people get recognition where they deserve.
Yes.
And one of the things I want to add to the team piece is the team, the Edmonton Savages, or like even any of these teams, it has created such a good mesh for me in just the Edmonton community in general. I'm talking all cultures.
Yeah.
So it's amazing to see how, you know, we talk about the beauty of sports. Sports brings people together.
Absolutely.
You know, I would not have legit probably 70% of the friendships that I have if it wasn't for this sport.
Yeah, exactly.
Legit.
Right?
Yeah.
Because you guys are playing consistently, you build that camaraderie, you're brothers.
Yeah, 100%.
Day, right? That's lifelong, man.
Yeah.
Win or lose. Both more win than lost, obviously, but that's what it's about, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Man, look, it's incredible. Obviously, you know, with Brown Ballers, I told you, we want to uncover more stories. We want to highlight individuals like yourself. Mm-hmm. And I just personally want to dive more into ball hockey. That's why I'm talking to Dampier. We're going to come to Indo Cup.
Excellent.
I want to really like see what everyone's doing and highlight all you guys because I think it's incredible, right?
Yeah.
So I appreciate you giving me your time here today. But give all the young Brown Ballers one piece of advice, one lasting piece of advice for the future.
One piece of advice for the future. If you have a passion, follow it. There are going to be so many good things that come out of it that you don't even know. You know, my passion for me has always been, you know, like physical fitness. I'm a runner. I like climbing and hiking, and I like using those things to find a way to help others. You know, and things with ball hockey, I would never imagine that I would be able to go play in Switzerland. Seriously. Or Czech Republic sometime in my life.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Just playing street hockey on my driveway and like breaking the window, you know. I would never imagine that becoming that. And I got to see the world, you know.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Follow your passions. There are so many good things that come out of following your passions. You know, there's a good reason why it's your passion. It draws to you. A part of you is really drawn to that because it helps, you know, build the character that you know that you want to become.
Absolutely.
So that's why I'm grateful for this. You know, I'm grateful for even just being here and being able to play and being healthy, right? It puts all those things into perspective. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's incredible, man. Again, I appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
I appreciate you.
Look, we have a lot more stories coming, a lot more people to highlight, so make sure you guys first go follow Sunny, and you'll follow the tournament we're at right now. We got a lot more coming, so stay tuned.
Yeah, I do want to make one mention. I mentioned that I like using things that I love to do to draw attention to initiatives.
Yes.
So in October, I'll be climbing Mount Kilimanjaro in Africa.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, along with my cousin Arvin Gill. So if you do check out my page, you'll see on my first page, I'm doing a campaign. It's called Rise Against Malaria, Climb to Conquer.
Wow.
And just some background info. This was not prepared. But last year, malaria alone killed 680,000 people throughout the world.
That's insane.
And Africa. 680,000 from things that are spread from mosquito bites, you know?
Wow.
And, you know, it's really good to have something that forces you to dial back and really just appreciate how good we have it.
Yeah.
We have it so good here. Like, we
Super
live
good.
like kings and queens, you know?
Yeah.
And people in other parts of the world are born into some of these things and they'll never get away from that.
Exactly.
So
yep.
I am running a campaign where I'm raising funds towards malaria prevention, treatment, and diagnosis, and using the climb to power that. So
Incredible,
feel free to
man.
take a look at that on my page. There's a bunch of information, and honestly, raising funds, which will go towards a global fund, which works in all fields related to that, but honestly, no expectations. The goal is also to raise awareness.
I think
right?
that's what you're going to achieve for sure. You're
Yeah.
going to raise some good awareness.
Exactly.
Which is
So,
huge.
so much love. Hope everyone is doing well. Thank you so much for the time and having me.
Likewise, brother. Appreciate you, man.